Hello there and welcome back to my videos. In this video I want to speak about the PHP and the framework called Laravel. And I will just speak about how the Blade engine working inside the Laravel. It's how you can work with HTML and something like that. And I will help you to understand how the if statement is working and how for each statement is working. I will guide you to how you can use a main layout and then use it as the layout wrapper for all your views templates you speak about. So that's what we're gonna speak about today, and I really hope you enjoy this. So let's say I really hope you want to subscribe to this channel. You can just click on the thing below in the right corner, and then you can like and share this video if you want. Remember, all the code I do here in the video will be found on my GitHub, and the link will be in the description below, and you can just click it and download the code if you want. Thank you so much, and let's code. The first we're gonna do is going for the resources, and then we go inside the view, and inside the view here we have the link, the welcome blade, and let's open that, and we have a lot of stuff inside here, and I think we can just going down here and remove everything. We will create our own data here, so let's make a div tags here, and the first we're gonna do here is just open the PHP, and then we just say the title here, page title is equal to hello world. When you have the .blade.php, it's meaning the Laravel should understand that like a template, and then it's rendering by the Blade engine, and then you can render the output. We can just type the header here. You can just see h1, and then we can go for the page title, and then we can going back for the browser and reload it, and you can see it here. We have the hello world now. That's how you can playing around with the variables, and you can just going back and play with the if statements. So let's do this by say display content is equal to true, and I'll just scroll down here and make a wrapper about the if statement, the div tag, sorry. Then we make the if statement, and we use triple equals, and then we say and if. Then we have it here and say this content is allowed to be displayed. Let's going back for the browser again and see the if statement is working, and it's working as it should be. Let's go back and use I don't know what happened here. I'll just go back here and copy this one. Okay, it's folding out the style, so that's something weird here. But yes, and let's change this to false. We can go over the browser, and it should not display anything. We can set it to null. Going back here and say else if display content it's equal to false. Then we can just do this and say it's not allowed, or we show it. Yes, and let's go back to the browser. Null should be we don't display anything, and if we go back and say false, we should have the other message here. And now we can react on the if statement. So that's how the if statement is working in the Blade engine, and it's very basic working in this one. So let's go back and speak about the for each loop, but to that we need to build the array about we want to call the employees. So let's create the variable here and say employees, and should be equal to the array with the elements inside, and the name should be Bob. And I'll just copy this 3 times. And Bingo and Berta. Then we can going down below here and we can display it. We can just say for each employee as employee. I think I've spelling a little bit wrong here, so let's go back and do this and say, like the if statement, we say end for each, and then we can just make a wrapper around it, the UL tag, and go inside and say align, and what we're gonna say employee name. Let's go to the browser and see how that's reacting, and we should have the Bob, Bingo and Berta. So that's perfect, and I promise you to know how we can fix all of those inside a main template, so we don't need to do anything inside here every time. I will just show how that's working by working with the tag called GL, and then we need the tag extends. So let's working with that now. But first, inside the layout, we need to create a new PHP file inside a layout folder. We can call it main.blade.php, and inside this one we can go back and we can just copy all of that code here. And this one, and inside here we can just type GL. Let's call it content. Going back for the welcome here, and what we're gonna do here is just say extends layout dot main, and then we want to say section content. Put everything down here and say end section. If I'm done it right, we should have no changes in this one, and that's correct. So it's very basic. You can just, we're gonna going back to the main again. You just have your code here, and then you just put inside here the GL, and when you have that, you can go back for the other template and just extend the layout, and then make the section content about the we have put inside the GL, and then you have working with the much smaller code base. It's very nice, and you save a lot of duplicate code. Another thing we could have in the case of we don't want to the hello world. Let's say we don't want the hello world, and I'm going back here to the browser and reload. Then you can see we have an error because we are missing the variable here, page title. To be sure we don't break anything, if you're working inside the title here, you can just move the page title. Let's move it for the main here and place it here, and then we can just type 2 questions mark and missing title tag, missing page title tag. That's more correct. And if I'm going back to the browser again, it should saying I'm missing that. So now you have an option to tell your blade about if you have this is viable, it's okay. If not, then we want to display something else. And then I can go inside my welcome blade, and I can just comment this out again and see what happened inside here. And you can say this, we are back for the hello world. If your wish is display HTML, then you cannot do this out of the box. Let's try this. You can see if we have called here script called alert hello world, and I'm going back for the browser here, and you can see the hello world. It will encode your HTML tag, so if you display something from your database, it will always take care about that. So what I'm showing you now is how you can enable that, but be careful about if it's coming from a database, because if it's a user input, you should never just allow the HTML tags before you have stripping the data. I can just copy the line again and make two alert signs here. I can't remember about what is it's pronounced on English, but that's what we're going to work with. Going back and reload the page, and you can see we have the alert called hello world. I will going back and comment this out because I don't want it to the next one. I don't like it. It's reloading every time. The next thing is I will show how we can work with the CSS code. You can see it in the welcome blade here. We have a lot of HTML code, CSS code here, and in the beginning you can see we have get a lot of the lines, but I want to move this to a CSS file, and it's pretty simple. You can do it like going inside the CSS file here, and then we can just copy this code going inside, and I'll just reformat it. Then we have 300 lines, and that's all the code we're working with. And then I will just go below here, going back for this one, and let's call it the real style sheet, and then want to CSS app.css, and I want to move this too. And we want to say the h1 header tag should be color orange. Oh, this is a nice color. Let's call them this. And I think that's it. We can just move that and go back and reload it. You can see we have a problem still. We don't load the style sheet correct. Okay, I'm copied to the wrong file. We have the public here. We want to create a new folder, call it CSS, and inside that we can call it app.css. What do we have? Style sheet app, and then we just move everything here and put it inside here. Let's see how that's working. Public app CSS, and in my main file is called. So we still have an issue here. Let's go for the browser and see about we have the file access. We have access to the file, so I think that's because I've making yes, I have wrong here. And let's go back, and now we have it. Hello world is orange, and then we have the other content here, and then it's work smooth. But if you want the UL to be more dynamic, because sometimes you do this, and that's meaning you only take the CSS based on the folder you are on right now, and yeah, that's not correct. So we can just do it another way. So let's call it this one, called UL2, and then we can just copy this link inside. And that should be enough. Let's go back for the browser and see what's working. Let's inspect it up, and header and style. Now you can see it's building the. I just scaled a little bit. Whoops. There. Here we go. You can have the style here for the HTTP localhost 8100 and CSS app. So that's how it's working now, and it's working pretty good. Before we only want this one, and that's okay, but the other one, it's much better. That's what I'm having to show you today, and I really hope you enjoy and you learn the basic about the Laravel's Blade Engine. It's the template based in the Laravel framework, and it's very important to know and understand. So now you can play around with that. Just remember to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget, all the code will be on the GitHub. Link will be down below in the description. And if you don't know how to subscribe, you can click on the thing below in the right corner. Don't forget to like and share this video. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.